Hello again, beautiful beings. Today I have a really important message for all of you. I want to remind you that every aspect of your reality, every action, every thought, every opportunity, every accident, everything that happens in your life happens for a reason. And that reason either comes down to your predestined contracts that your soul wrote, signed, agreed to before coming into this lifetime, or it comes down to your free will in the present moment, setting intentions and creating reality as you go. Now, more so than ever before, I really feel like we all need this reminder. We need to remember that this is no accident. We need to remember, and thank you so much, Angelo, for that super chat. We need to remember that we're not just here to feed the system. We are here to collapse the system. We are here to rebuild the system. We are here to heal the broken parts of the old system. We are here to hold space for all of this to happen. This is your wake-up call. You attracted this video, this information in your life at this time for a reason. This is the universe coming to you in this moment to say that it's time that you stop believing in the illusion that is this reality. It's time for all of us to understand where we're coming from, because we were all born and raised into that system, but then to also ask ourselves, how do I help? How do I help the collective? How do I help all of us move forward? How do I help myself obtain a new frequency that feels better? So I want to talk about a few things that you might be experiencing right now in your life. And the first one is absolute collapse. So I don't know about you guys, but in my own personal little tiny microcosm of a reality in this world, I've been experiencing a lot of friends, family members blowing up. Just a lot of situations, a lot of heated discussions, a lot of moments that have been really difficult to navigate. And luckily, it's all happening around me, and I get to be the space holder, and it's not directly affecting me. And for each one of these moments that I've observed, it is so clear that whatever is blowing up right now was not serving the betterment of the new Earth frequency as a whole, but it's not serving you. If you have challenging family dynamics, if you have sudden death or loss in your life, if you have gone through a sudden illness or maybe a job change, all of these challenging situations are happening in your life right now for a reason. And I'm just going to take a wild guess and say that that reason most likely is because whatever that situation or thing is, it was not serving you. It was not aligned to your highest timeline. Now, let's just talk about timelines for a second here, because maybe you're new to the channel or you haven't watched a whole lot of my stuff on quantum physics, and it's a pretty big concept, but recently we've had a lot of solar activity. And what happens when we have a lot of solar activity is it affects the electromagnetic frequency on the planet. And we can see this as a result of something like the Schumann resonance spiking, or the aurora being seen all over the planet in places that it usually isn't. The energy is shifting, it's moving, and it's actually increasing. And with this, it is bringing about a very glitchy energy. Maybe you've noticed that there are things duplicating. Like recently, I've been texting people, like a full sentence. I send the text message, and it duplicates and sends again. That's never happened before. Things like not being able to sign into a website, or the website being broken on your end, but not on, the website's end. Things like bilocation, the fact that you walk into a room and you see your dog sitting in the corner, you look away, and when you look up, they're actually over on the couch in the other side of the room. All of these things, these weird glitchy things, like I was taking a walk and a bird just flew and disappeared mid-flight. There's an infinite number of timelines. So there's a timeline where I wore this hat instead of this one. And because those timelines are so similar, and yet one conscious choice hops us into a different state of being, when the energy is really high, all of those timelines meld together. Things get a little weird. But what's beautiful about being in a state of chaos and this quantum collision and entanglement is that our choices matter. They really do. When we get to a place where we are not just observing Schrodinger's cat, is the cat dead or alive? We are the cat ourselves. And in that moment, we are dead and alive. We are here and there, simultaneously. It is no longer one state or another. This is why I'm saying it's time to stop with the bullshit. It's time to stop playing the game. It's time to stop feeding the illusion. It's time to stop lowering yourself for everyone else. It is time to seriously look inward and ask yourself, what do I need? What do I want? Because when we can get to ourselves to a place where everything is aligned, and I'm talking about the 3D world, I'm talking about your relationships, your romance, your finances, your day-to-day 9-to-5 job, your relationship with your kids, your living situation. I'm talking about all aspects of your physical reality. When you can get to a place where you are out of fight or flight, you are out of survival, you are done with the blow-ups, then and only then can you serve the collective. So it's not a time right now to be altruistic and say, let's go ahead and meditate for everyone else. It's always a good time to do that, but it's really a time to get yourselves aligned to the new energies. And what that requires is a willingness to change. Many years ago, when I first learned about the shifting between one Earth and another Earth, and I saw this projected holograph of literally two Earths separating, and it was very confusing to me. And I thought I was going to lose all of my friends and all of my family, because back in 2011, no one was questioning anything. Everyone was absorbed by the system. And one thing that came to me when I asked, are my friends going to make it? Are my family members going to make it? Is my partner going to make it to this other place, this other frequency? What came through is this. The only thing that is needed to move into the fifth dimension or a higher frequency is a willingness to change. That's it. So, terrible example coming your way, but I have to say it. You could be a serial killer and you're in jail for the rest of your life. In jail, you meditate or have some sort of revelation or realization, and you understand that you were given certain tools, and based on those tools and a lot of emotional charge, you became that person in this lifetime. If you're willing to change who you are, then you actually have the ability to go into that higher vibration. I know, it's like hard to even just accept. Everyone has the ability to shift into a higher frequency. Everyone, no matter what your past looks like. And I want to say that you deserve to shift into that higher frequency. All you have to do is be willing to change. So it's those super stubborn individuals that are going to have an extra hard time with this. And side note, this is why I have observed that a lot of women tend to shift into higher frequencies first. Yay! And why is that? It's because women, or especially divine female energies, regardless of gender, are more willing, more able to shift, more willing to surrender, more willing to be vulnerable, more willing to change. Divine masculine energies are stubborn and sometimes egoic and think that their way is the best way and there's no other way of convincing them. And so it's going to take a little bit longer. But this is your time. You're watching this for a reason. And just know that you can't shift others, but eventually they will have to make their way into that higher frequency as well. Remember, if you do not choose to change your reality, it will change for you, moving into a higher frequency. There's no getting around it. So you might as well just make the choice to take that step and change and get uncomfortable in order to grow and expand. All right. So the second point that I want to mention here, on top of just the utter chaos and collapse and explosions that are happening right now, is balance. Okay, and we kind of alluded to this a little bit, but balance is so key and so important. And when I talk balance, I mean balance between the matrix and the mission. Balance between your soul and your human. It cannot be all human and it cannot be all soul. And one thing that I've had to remind myself often in this lifetime is, if I was meant to be just a soul floating in the universe or an interdimensional being because I'm missing home or what have you, I would be that right now. So please remember that. If you were meant to be a soul without a body, you would be that right now. But you're meant to be human. And one thing that really helped me with this balance is learning how to love being human. And that took me many years to figure out. And I don't know if I'm even still there yet. But truly to stop, to look at yourself in the mirror, and to tell yourself that you love yourself. If you can do that, saying that out loud, without makeup, without jewelry, without clothes even, and just really strip down, be bare, be vulnerable with yourself, and still love yourself, even with that extra 10, 15 pounds you put on recently, that's it. That's unconditional love. And that's a great place to start when it comes down to balance. Love your human. Love your flaws. Love your ability to misspell and mispronounce, and even love your triggers, love your reactions, love your addictions, love it all. The more we resist aspects of ourselves, the more we resist aspects of this reality. The more resistance and emotional reaction we have within ourselves that we're projecting out, the more trapped you are to this matrix. There's no other way to go about saying that. Stop resisting. Unconditional love is a reflection of no judgment. It's a reflection of acceptance. And that's why we have to do that and accept ourselves first before we can get to the rest of the world. All right? We need to balance the matrix and the mission. And with that, I want to just really mention that one of the key tools to doing this and to finding that unconditional love is finding neutrality within your own reality. So for me, I have a couple of family members who are Trump supporters, and I have a couple family members who are Trump haters. And I tell them all the time, I don't have an opinion. And I would rather not talk about this. And guess what? Conversations are way more pleasant. They become way more universal and way more connected at that unconditional love frequency. And I'm honest about it. And sometimes I'll go to the point of saying, this conversation is making me feel a little nauseous, like a little sick to my stomach. I'd rather not. And just choosing not to participate and just being vulnerable and honest with the people that you love and care about. Do not choose polarity moving forward. Choose neutrality. And then the last point I want to make here, and I guess before I get to this point, I just want to personally welcome all of the new subscribers. I'm actually starting to be on TikTok now, and I think some of you came from TikTok. And I just want to say welcome. We are a team here. There really is no captain, there's no leader, there's no coach. I truly believe that each member of the community is so divine, is so powerful, is so masterful and special in your own right that we can't change the planet with just one of us. And this actually leads me into my last point here, which is, gives me chills. It's time. It is go time. I'm sure you found this channel because you're a starseed. And what that means is that you're an old soul. You've lived many lifetimes. But you're also a galactic soul. Someone who has come from the stars, who has consciously chosen, volunteered to come to this forsaken planet to try the best you can to help it. And lifetime after lifetime, you've died trying. You've been killed. You've been sacrificed. You have been seen as a threat in lifetime after lifetime. So what did you decide to do in this lifetime? You decided to shut it all down. You decided to play the game. You decided to just show up as a school teacher or a farmer or a grocery bagger or a bus driver. You decided to just fit in so that you didn't have to sacrifice yourself anymore. But deep down, while you've been fitting into this reality in this matrix, you've been anxious. You've been restless. You've probably even... Oh, I'm so sorry. We have my dad's dog. Hey, Callie, do you want to go out? Go on then. Go, go, go. I love when the universe, like, one of the things I used to do back in the day to switch up the energy was like clap. Look like a crazy person just clapping throughout my day. But what that sound did is it actually brought me back into the present moment. Random action, random sound at a random time. Or is it really random? You've been waiting. You've been waiting. And anytime you got close to taking action or to speaking up or to putting yourself into a position of power or influence, there is so much fear in you that you actually step back out of it again. This right here in this moment, This is your call to action. We have 8 billion people on the planet, and I would say 98% of them need a good wake-up call. They need teachers, they need healers, they need compassion, they need random acts of kindness to remember who they are. They need you. You have been holding yourself back this entire time because it hasn't been time. But what I'm saying right now is that it is go time. The time is now. You are being called into action. It does not matter what you do. As long as you shift into the highest timeline, the highest frequency, you can then up-level everyone else around you. And like I said, all you have to do is be willing to change. So I have an affirmation for you. I don't know why I said that so weird. I have an affirmation for you. Please write this down. And right before I got onto this live, I was really thinking about one thing I could mention that would help shift you, bring you into a state of action. And this is the thing that came through. Saying this affirmation to yourself in times of doubt, in times of creation and manifestation, and in all of the times in between, because this affirmation is going to activate you. It's going to put you into the right place. Remember, fair warning, when you say affirmations, you have to really mean them. And if you're not ready to receive the activation from them, please do not say them, just hoping for anything. Because what happens is, if you haven't been doing the work and you say this affirmation, shit will hit the fan for you. And then you'll blame me. EA did this to me. Of course, you're making that conscious choice to say that affirmation, to make that statement to the universe, and then to create the reality that is held within that statement. So, here goes. I am ready to activate into my highest timeline. I am ready to activate into my highest timeline. And that's it. Every aspect of your reality will align to the highest timeline. And if there are aspects of your reality that are not aligned and actually far off from alignment, that's where you're going to get challenge and turmoil and change and unpredictability. But remember, you gotta break down to break through. As always, thank you so much for being here. Please check out my monthly Galactic Federation summits. And if you're still needing to manifest your 2024 year, please check out the Cosmic Gateway workshop that is really meant to clear space from 2023 and activate and align your manifestations into reality for 2024. And of course, please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, I will see all of you in the activated highest timeline.